Welcome back to Nature's Raw Challenge, where we strip away modern comforts to rediscover the forgotten survival wisdom of the past. Today we question the reliance on expensive modern sleeping bags that promise comfort, but often fail in the harshest wilderness conditions. We have all experienced the frustration of a jammed zipper or a tear in delicate synthetic fabric right when temperatures drop. Once a modern down sleeping bag gets wet, it loses almost all insulation value, leaving you shivering uncontrollably in the cold. Perhaps the biggest danger is fire, as synthetic materials melt instantly, preventing you from sleeping close to a warming heat source. History provides a rugged solution, used by soldiers and frontiersmen who survived extreme elements without high-tech gear or fancy plastic gadgets. Enter the humble wool blanket, a time-tested tool that remains effective even when damp, offering superior durability and natural fire resistance. Paired with a heavy-duty canvas oilskin, this combination creates a shelter system that is breathable, waterproof, and incredibly tough against thorns. While modern hikers complain about weight, the bushcrafter understands that versatility and reliability are worth every extra ounce carried on the back. During the Second World War, soldiers relied on these exact materials to survive freezing trenches, proving their worth in life or death situations. Let us head into the deep woods to demonstrate how to transform these simple rectangular fabrics into a warm, secure cocoon. Preparation begins by clearing the ground of sharp rocks and sticks, creating a flat surface for our traditional bedroll setup today. We start by laying down the heavy oilskin canvas, which acts as the waterproof barrier against the cold, damp forest floor. Next, we spread the wool blanket directly on top of the canvas, ensuring the edges align perfectly for the folding process. We will utilize the classic Plymouth fold technique, a method that maximizes insulation layers while creating a secure pocket for your feet. Fold the bottom third of the blanket and canvas up together, creating the initial foot box that traps heat very effectively. Now bring one side across the center, tucking it tightly underneath to ensure no cold drafts can enter from the side. Repeat the motion with the opposite side, essentially wrapping yourself like a burrito in layers of protective wool and durable canvas. This envelope style creates multiple layers of wool over your chest, where you need the most warmth during the freezing night. Traditional blanket pins or wooden toggles can be used to secure the opening, preventing the system from opening while you sleep. You can stuff your spare clothing into a sack to create a pillow, keeping your gear warm and your head supported. Sliding into this bedroll feels different than a sleeping bag. It feels solid, grounded, and much less constricting than modern mummy bags. There is ample room to turn over or sleep on your side without the claustrophobic feeling of tight synthetic nylon fabrics. Now comes the critical advantage of this system: the ability to utilize a long log fire right next to your bed. We select two long, thick logs to act as a reflector and a fuel source, set parallel to our sleeping area. With a synthetic bag, you must stay far away, but with wool, you can sleep safely within arm's reach of heat. We ignite the fire using birch bark and small twigs, slowly building up the heat that will sustain us through the night. If a stray ember pops onto your wool blanket, it will simply smolder and extinguish itself, rather than melting or burning. A similar ember landing on a modern polyester sleeping bag would instantly melt a hole, ruining the gear and risking injury. The heat from the fire radiates toward the sleeper, while the canvas blocks the wind, creating a microclimate of warm air. As darkness envelops the forest, the temperature drops rapidly. But the radiant heat from the long fire keeps the cold away. There is a primal satisfaction in sleeping this way, connecting deeply with our ancestors who survived the wild with similar tools. Wool breathes exceptionally well, wicking moisture away from your body so you do not wake up clammy like in plastic bags. Throughout the night, you can easily reach out and add a log to the fire without ever leaving your warm bedroll. The air around your face is crisp and freezing, but your body remains toasty warm inside the heavy layers of wool. A wool blanket can last for decades of hard use, whereas modern sleeping bags often degrade after just a few seasons. During the day, your bedroll becomes a cloak or a poncho, serving multiple purposes that a sleeping bag simply cannot match. Using this system requires more skill than just unzipping a bag. It demands knowledge of folding, fire management, and wind direction. Without the crinkle of nylon in your ears, you can hear the subtle sounds of the forest, staying aware of surroundings. Finally, the crackle of the fire lulls you into a deep, restorative sleep, confident in the protection of your traditional gear. The stars move slowly across the sky, while the long fire burns down to glowing coals, maintaining a steady, gentle warmth. Morning light filters through the trees, revealing frost on the ground, yet the interior of the wool roll remains perfectly dry. Waking up in the woods without the condensation and dampness typical of tents is a refreshing experience unique to canvas camping. We inspect the blanket for any moisture. The outside might be damp with dew, but the inside layers are completely dry. Blowing on the remaining embers brings the fire back to life quickly, providing immediate warmth for the morning coffee and breakfast. There is nothing quite like brewing fresh coffee over an open fire, while still sitting comfortably inside your warm wool bedding. Breaking camp is simple. We shake out the debris from the canvas and hang the wool blanket to air out briefly. The bedroll is rolled up tightly, often securing other gear inside it, creating a compact cylinder ready for the next journey. This roll can be carried over the shoulder like a horseshoe, a classic method used by Civil War soldiers on marches. Consider the cost. A high-end survival sleeping bag costs a fortune, while surplus wool blankets are affordable and virtually indestructible. Natural materials like wool and cotton canvas are biodegradable, unlike synthetic gear that will pollute the earth for centuries to come. If you tear your canvas, it can be sewn in the field. A ripped nylon bag usually means the end of it. This is not just about equipment. It is about a mindset of resilience, relying on skills rather than purchasing safety. By adopting these methods, we forge a stronger connection to the land, understanding the elements rather than fighting against them. We have proven that wool captures dead airspace efficiently, keeping the core body temperature stable even in sub-zero conditions. We demonstrated that the ability to sleep near fire changes the entire camping experience, turning a cold night into comfort. We showed that rugged canvas protects against rough terrain that would destroy fragile modern ultralight fabrics in a matter of seconds. I challenge you to leave the modern sleeping bag at home next time and experience the raw utility of wool blankets. Always remember to practice fire safety responsibly and test your gear in controlled environments before heading into the deep, wild wilderness. The woods are calling for those willing to learn the old ways, to master the fire, and to sleep soundly outdoors. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication in the wild. Trust in nature's materials, and they will protect you when technology fails. If you enjoyed this journey into traditional bushcraft, please like and subscribe for more adventures into the raw, wild nature. This has been Nature's Raw Challenge. Stay safe, stay warm, and keep the spirit of the old ways alive. Goodbye.